Hi everyone, I'm Madison from Reliant Destinations and MyCaribbeanLuxury.com. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today we're talking about an exciting product, and this is the Priority Pass. Now, if you're on my channel watching this video today, you're probably interested in travel, probably interested in airport lounges, or maybe want to know a lot of information just explicitly about how this works. So this video is everything you need to know about the Priority Pass. Alright, now before we dig in, at the end of this video, there is going to be a special offer just for you. So make sure to stick around, and also, please subscribe to this video because there will be lots more videos just like this that I hope will be helpful for you. So, perhaps the first question to answer is, what exactly is the Priority Pass? The Priority Pass is an amazing system. There's a physical card, or you can have a digital card on an app. And with the Priority Pass, it is a wonderful network that consists of airport lounges, restaurants, mini suites, and also some alternative relaxations in the airport as well. Now, with Priority Pass, this is a very extensive network. So, while it is possible that the destination you're traveling from or to doesn't actually have an airport lounge as part of this program, chances are it probably does. And this is because with the Priority Pass, there are over 1,300 lounges, and this is across a massive network. In the US alone, there's over 40 airports that have lounges that participate in the Priority Pass program. And of course, if you're traveling abroad, with airport lounges participating in Priority Pass in over 148 countries as of this video, there's a pretty good chance that there is going to be a very nice airport lounge or something similar part of this program just for you. And in my opinion, the best thing about Priority Pass is they're constantly adding new destinations, and not only new destinations, but even in existing destinations, they're adding more opportunities in different terminals and also in international domestic departures and even arrival lounges, so there's always things that are forthcoming and new to the Priority Pass. So chances are, by the time you're actually watching this video, there's even more available than what we're talking about now. Priority Pass also uses a term that if you're on the website you will see floating around, and this is lounge class, a bit like maybe premium or business or first class that an airline uses for their flight codes. You'll see lounge class is the way for Priority Pass to say this is an experience that is very special just for our clients. It is a fact that no matter what actual ticket you have, you could have the cheapest economy ticket possible, but you can still have access to something like a very nice airport lounge that maybe is a benefit you would only get with a very good airline in business or first class typically. If you're not overly familiar with what an airport lounge is like, let me just say that it is an amazing experience, and in fact I will even show you a few of my favorites that are part of this program in just a couple of minutes. In its most simple form, an airport lounge is a place to get away from the hustle bustle, the craziness of the airport, and have some peace and quiet, often have some very nice food, some drinks, and those drinks as well can often include top shelf spirits, and this can be completely included in the lounge. Now, every lounge is different, we'll talk a bit more about that, but with this, it's a very special experience that often is something that is going to be way nicer than if you paid for an overpriced steak or even overpriced burger in the actual airport itself. Now, with airport lounges, many of them go above and beyond the standard food and some drink and the sofas for you to sit in, but also include things like full spas where you can have a wide list of treatments available, obviously at some extra cost there. Also things like showers, sometimes included, sometimes at a discounted rate, but showers where you can go, you can refresh yourself, particularly if you are transiting between flights and need an opportunity to just feel a bit more fresh before you get on the next flight to your final destination. Let's talk for just a moment about the Priority Pass website. Now, there will be a link with a special offer for you, which I'll talk about at the end of this video, which will be just right below in the description section for you. But on there, you will be able to see some of this information I'll talk about in just a moment. So first of all, a couple of things you'll find that are very useful on the Priority Pass website, and also things in the Priority Pass app. So On the website itself, you will see things like destination guides. So for example, maybe you're flying to London Heathrow Airport and you want to know not only a map of the airport, but you like to see what is available on the actual priority pass and maybe some alternative options as well, along with being able to sort between concourse and terminal. This is a fantastic way to do this with a destination guide for some of the best airports in the world that are available directly on the website. In fact, you don't even have to be a member to look at this, so if you go to the link below, you can actually go and browse the website and see what's available in your favorite airports. Furthermore, on the Priority Pass website, not only are there destination guides, but with all of the lounges listed, you can look at the lounge, and because every lounge is so different and so unique and has different inclusions, you can look at any specific lounge and it'll tell you everything from the opening hours, it'll tell you any restrictions with it, how long you can stay in that lounge. It will also have things, for example, a full list of amenities, what kind of food and drink, if alcohol is included, if it's maybe just 1 or 2 drinks, if it's kind of free-flowing alcohol, if it's something where maybe you get an a la carte item that you order from a menu, or maybe it's a buffet, or it's both. If there's amenities in there, maybe like a shower facility, a spa, everything you need to know can be listed there for you to show you exactly what is in that lounge. This can be particularly beneficial where a lot of the best airports, we're talking airports like in Dallas, we're talking airports in JFK, in New York, where with these airports that you can actually have multiple options. So maybe you're thinking, which one is best? I have the ability to go into either one of these, but which one do I choose? Well, with Priority Pass, you can pull up a side-by-side comparison with them, and you can see which one is more suited to your needs and desires at that time. When it comes to member support, there's plenty of that to be had with different options of communicating with Priority Pass program. This can be on the actual website itself or also on the app. With a program called Priority Pass, it's a given that airport lounges are a pretty critical part of the program. However, what about alternative options that might be included as well? For example, restaurants. Did you know that at many airports across America and international airports like London, that you have options to actually dine in a restaurant with a monetary credit? Now, perhaps the lounge is full, which does happen sometimes, unfortunately, or perhaps you're just not in the mood that day for a lounge. Well, you can actually go and you can participate at the partner restaurant. There are a few credit card programs that do give Priority Pass as a benefit to the card members, but do be advised that often the alternative types like restaurants are not actually included with those benefits. So in this instance, talking about restaurants that are included, this would be a benefit that is for paying members of Priority Pass. The monetary credit that's given when you dine at one of the partner restaurants in the airport, it can vary, but typically it averages around 28 US. Here are a few examples of partner restaurants that you can use on the Priority Pass, and these are options that I've actually dined in personally and found really enjoyable. First, at George Bush Intercontinental in Houston, Texas, you have Landry Seafood there, and this is an amazing restaurant where you can actually use Priority Pass for a credit right under $30 for your meal. You can use it on food and drinks. Or perhaps here in Miami, you can stop by Air Margaritaville, which is a really cool establishment where you can also use Priority Pass. In Melbourne, you can actually go to a place called Cafe View, again where you can use your monetary credits from Priority Pass. Or you can also go somewhere that I found myself multiple times, and this is at London Gatwick Airport, and this is the Grain Store Cafe. Talking about alternative options, restaurants is just one of those, and there is a pretty substantial list of restaurants which you can find on the Priority Pass app or the website of all the partner locations across America and across international locations. But beyond that, there is a little bit more. There are some options that I would consider random options, but are pretty cool to the right person. So for example, in Minneapolis Airport, there is a PGA golf lounge actually, where you can go and it is all golf based. Or in the Dallas airport, you also have options where you can go and you can actually play games in a gaming lounge for a couple of hours and have some snacks. So for the right person, that could be a very suitable option also. Perhaps you're a bit like me, and often I feel a little bit drowsy when it's time to use an airport lounge. And yes, a lot of airport lounges have sleep pods and areas where you can relax, but in some airports, there's actually something that is way better. And this is called Minute Suites, one of the partners on Priority Pass. With Minute Suites, you get the first hour complimentary of essentially a private little mini room where you can go and you can have a wonderful nap, have some relaxation. You'll find this in airports like DFW and Atlanta and Philadelphia and Charlotte. And even outside of Minute Suites, you'll have other partner programs in different airports, such as in Dubai International Airport, where there's sleep pods that are dedicated sleep pods you can have a 2-hour credit for just by having Priority Pass. So now having a rough idea of what is included in Priority Pass, let's talk about the next angle. And this is, who is Priority Pass best for? Is it good for you? Maybe, maybe not. Let's find out. So perhaps you're an infrequent traveler, someone that travels maybe once a year, but this really sounds like a cool option to you. You really like the idea of being able to go in a private lounge, even without that expensive business or first class ticket. Now, it's not as great value as if you had a Priority Pass and were traveling regularly, but for the lounges that actually allow you to go up to the door and purchase entry, it typically is very expensive. So on a website like loungepass.com, you can actually save quite a bit of money there. I will also put a link below this video to that as well, where you can purchase one-off lounge passes also. So if you find yourself in that circumstance, Priority Pass is probably not the best option for you. However, if you are someone who actually does travel at least a couple times a year return trip, this could be a fantastic program for you. Keeping in mind that if you are doing a round trip, there's typically an opportunity to use an airport lounge twice, one in each direction, if not also perhaps an arrival lounge. Understanding that each traveler's need is different and individual, Priority Pass has done a very nice job in constructing 3 different types of membership for 3 different types of travelers. And just a quick thing to mention before I move on, I am about to give you some prices here. Now, my videos typically are watched by people who are in America or the United Kingdom, so I'll give these prices both in US dollars and British pounds, but do be advised that this is at the time of this video, and it is subject to change, but also do note that the prices I'm about to give you do not include the special discount, which I will have for you at the end of the video. Alright, so the first type of package is for the occasional traveler. And this is the standard membership Priority Pass. The standard membership is best for someone that travels maybe twice, 3 times a year, but also doesn't know exactly how many times to travel and would prefer the option to have a discounted entry into lounges versus complimentary on a more expensive membership. At the time of this video, it is 99 US dollars or 69 British pounds. And with this, whenever you visit a lounge, you can get into the lounge for 32 US dollars or 20 pounds, depending on which currency you're using. And so any of these participating lounges, you can actually use that membership on. One thing to mention here is because you are paying but a discounted amount per entry, some of the benefits that would be included with Priority Pass, such as the restaurant credits and the alternative options, they may not represent great value for you in using those. So typically what I find is people who are using the standard membership are typically going to use it explicitly for lounges, although sometimes there is a bit of savings to be had at some other participating restaurants and partners as well. And then moving on to where I think Priority Pass really begins, and this is the Standard Plus membership. So Standard Plus membership is not for the infrequent traveler, it's for someone who travels fairly regularly, but not necessarily a lot. So for this, we're talking about someone that probably travels between, say, 5 to 10 times a year. So with this, the benefits are for this accordingly. With the Standard Plus membership, you first of all get 10 free visits, which is really nice as well. So 10 free visits to any of the participating lounge programs. Now, after you use the 10 free visits, you can continue to use your card but at the discounted rate, the same rate that someone would get if they had the standard membership. So at the moment, again, this could change, but this is the 32 US dollars or the 20 pound per entry. So that's only after you use up your 10 free visits. Now, I'll also mention a benefit that is great, and this is for all 3 of the membership levels, and this is you can actually take in a guest with you, which is really cool. So for example, if you were to go and you were, say, to bring your wife with you to the lounge, maybe you have the initial membership because you travel most often, but this time you brought your wife along. And so with this, she's not going to get in complimentary, but she can actually get in discounted as well with you using your Priority Pass membership. So that discounted amount is also the $32.20 per entry at the moment, and you can do that for a limited number of times as long as you are also there. And at the time of this video, the Standard Plus membership is $299 US or 189 British pounds. And then we get to my favorite membership, and this is for someone that travels frequently. With the Prestige membership, it is going to cost you a little bit more, but I think it represents good value for money. And with this, it is currently $429 US or 339 British pounds, and that is for a one annual membership. When you have this annual membership, all member visits are free, and same as when you are using a partner location. So if you are doing a restaurant, you're not having to use up one of your credits for that because you have unlimited credits. And again, at the same time, you can also bring someone with you, a guest, a business colleague, that sort of thing. As long as you are there using your pass, you can bring them at the discounted rate we talked about a moment ago. And I know I've mentioned it before, but make sure if you do join Priority Pass to download the app. You have it both for Android or for your iPhone, and with that app, it is a great way to have very user-friendly at your fingertips all of the information you want to know. On that app as well, you can also do resubscriptions and contact member support. Now let's talk about just a couple of my very favorite lounges that are included with Priority Pass. First, you do have the Turkish Airlines lounge, which is at Washington Dulles Airport. This is a mesmerizing lounge. It's modern, it's elegant, it has a hot and a cold buffet, and it also has floor-to-ceiling windows where you get beautiful views. It's actually quite rare to see an airline lounge that participates in a private program, so this is a very unique opportunity, and in my opinion is one of the best airport lounges I've been in. Another not to miss airport lounge that's part of this program is the Skyteam Lounge, and this is in Vancouver. In the International Departures Terminal, of course, there's food, there's free Wi-Fi, it's very comfortable. They even have a self-serve wine bar. With beautiful airport views, there's also beautiful food to be had with made-to-order dumplings even. Another one of my favorites is the Island Lounge B, and this is at the Dubai International Airport. I always say that this airport lounge is a bit like a quiet utopia in a very, very busy airport. And even better, it has a wonderful ambiance and is designed in a bit of a speakeasy style. From a glamorous buffet, massage chairs, and even complimentary showers, what more could you really want from a lounge? And finally, here's one to blow your mind. And this is the VIP Airport Lounge Terminal B in Punta Cana. And with this lounge, of course, it has the normal alcohol, refreshments, relaxation areas, but something more with this one. It has a pool. And now it's not a massive pool, but it's definitely a good enough pool to have a swim in, or as a lot of people do, take off socks and shoes and just have a nice dip of the toes. And this is a pool that is out on a balcony deck that overlooks the runway. And, well, for an airport lounge, that's pretty glamorous. Let's now just quickly talk about a couple of things to consider if you are thinking to maybe be a member of the Priority Pass. One thing that is definitely worth a mention is that you are not always guaranteed access to a lounge, because with these lounges, they are subject to availability, and if you travel on a very peak period, it is possible that you would be turned away. Now, luckily, at most of the big airports where that would be the case, there are multiple lounges, so chances are, if for some reason you couldn't get into one, you could get into the other, or one of the alternative arrangements they have there in the airport. Also, in my case, I've been told it's very busy right now, but if you can come back in just however long, maybe 20 minutes, then we can get you in, which, if you have a 3 or 4 hour layover, or you're at the airport, 3 hours before your flight for international flight, that's not a problem whatsoever. With some VIP airport brands, there's also an amazing opportunity for you to pre-book. Unfortunately, the pre-booking, it isn't free, but it is super cheap, and maybe this is something that you want to do just to have the added confidence. It's only with a few brands, but for example, in the UK, one of the most popular airport brands is going to be No. 1 Lounges. If you live in the UK, chances are you've heard or you've seen of them. If you haven't, well, it's a hidden gem and you need to look out for it. But No. 1 Lounge is an amazing brand of lounge that is included on the Priority Pass, but it does get very busy, especially in London airports. So with that being said, they actually offer the option where you can pre-book to guarantee the availability if you would like to. So let's have a quick summary. First of all, with the Priority Pass, we've talked about who it is good for and who it's not good for. So if you're that infrequent traveler, again, you're probably going to just want to book a once-off lounge pass. However, if you are traveling frequently, this is an amazing program for you. In fact, for the frequent traveler, I would suggest that if you don't have a program like Priority Pass, you're probably actually hurting yourself both in terms of comfort and financially, because if you look at the value of it and then you look at how much you would spend on mediocre airport food in general, well, there's pretty good value to be had in Priority Pass, particularly when you consider that often the food is nicer in the airport. You can get very nice drinks, alcohol, complimentary, relaxation. All of that itself to me is worth the cost of a normal lounge pass as you were paying for the actual lounge itself. You know, not even mentioning the fact if you are traveling many times a year that you could actually be doing yourself a massive favor to your pocketbook or your employers if they're paying for it simply by having the pass. If you are employed and you're being sent to different destinations and maybe they do give you a stipend for food, this could actually be something to present your employer with and say, hey, this is an amazing pass, maybe can we do this instead? And a lot of employers would heartily agree to that because it would not only save them money, but it would enhance your experience as well. But of course, what you've all really been waiting for is I mentioned an offer. So there is an offer. Now, this offer, I'm not going to say exactly what it is in the video because this offer is subject to change. If it gets better, I want to be able to put a better link down below. But it is a good offer that will save you money, and there are two different links below. So one if you're from America, one if you're from the UK. And just have a click at those links. It'll show you everything you want to know. And on those links, you can sign up directly for Priority Pass. But before we go, please like this video and subscribe if you have enjoyed it. I put these videos together to help you make informative decisions on travel choices, and I'd be delighted to present you with a lot of videos in the future to make sure you enjoy. So just give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.